The reason 95% of YouTube channels don't grow is because of this, the YouTube chain. And when one of the 5 links breaks, the whole thing falls apart. So ends your chance of fast growth. And sadly, by the end of this video, many of you are going to realize that the reason the growth of your channel is so static is because you've only been focusing on this part of the chain, maybe that bit. And I'm afraid a 2-link chain is useless. Scooby-Doo would never have been able to tell bad guys with that. But luckily, you're also going to learn the system to use to fix this, just like these 2 channels did. But before we get onto that, let's reveal the biggest problem you have right now, which is the 4th link on our chain, making videos. You've been told countless times before, make the best videos and you'll grow. But it's simply not true. And that's because the best videos means different things to different people. But does that mean they have to be the funniest, or tell the best story, or be the most informative, or all of those things? Well, actually, it's none of them. Because the best videos on YouTube are the ones your target audience are interested enough to click on. And that's why channels don't grow, because in order to find out what your target audience finds interesting and then deliver on that, these other 4 sections of the chain have to be your main focus before you can make the best video possible. Now you're probably wondering what those sections are, so let me reveal the first one to you, and this is the most important one. It's about what I call your avatars. For growth, you have to understand what type of content these guys consider to be interesting, and that's what holds the majority of creators back. They don't focus here anywhere near enough. Tyler, how many times have I said to you, why would our viewers care about that in the last 30 days?
4.563 million.
I wish he was joking. But how do you work that out? You move on to the 2nd link in the chain. If you want to transform your channel in 2 months, then start researching and looking for patterns 30 minutes a day. This is what all the best YouTubers in the world are doing all of the time. And you'll notice the results of them doing it too. For example, when Ryan Trahan made this video here which blew up, Eric suddenly made this thumbnail, and then someone else, and then another. A dark, mysterious background and an orange jumpsuit became a pattern on YouTube the top creators all tried to harness. Why? Because they noticed it worked on a human level. Everyone was at it, even the Germans. It's not about making a carbon copy though. Originality is still important. Now what's cool is to find this information, I've actually set up my vidIQ to track who I consider to be the best YouTubers in the world. And what this does, it gives me a list I can then just scroll through that helps me spot trends they might have all picked up on together. But if you do this, you need to make sure you're learning from content that worked, not the videos people made that didn't. And actually that's where it gets a little bit confusing, especially when every video a creator you're studying gets hundreds of thousands of views. So to get around this, you want to use the views per hour feature on vidIQ and then establish what's getting a lot of views now, so you don't analyze dead videos that didn't actually do well in terms of reaching a new audience. Or you could go to a whole new level on this and do what Tyler does.
So I downloaded this Eric script and I analyzed it line by line to break down how he uses the 3-act structure and the retention tactics he uses.
Then you can move on to the next link in the chain, planning. This is where you take all of the information you've learned from the first 2 links and then devise a way to put it into a video. The first step is to have an interesting idea you think your viewers will love. Then to work out a thumbnail and title they will click on. Be careful though, because this is where a ton of creators fall down. Because you know how awesome your video is, but your avatars won't. So go and look at the research and work you've done on them, and then ask yourself, how do I make this information clickable to them? Because a video title stuff with keywords that says exactly what it's about is often too specific, so there's no intrigue or sense of wondering what might happen. And that's what gets clicks when YouTube recommends your videos. Then you move on to planning your video's story, information and creative elements, and work out how to make the best video on this topic you possibly can. Which brings us onto the link most people focus all their energy on. The 4th link, production. And as I said at the start, this should be a byproduct of all of the other links. Production might take you an hour, it might take you weeks, but for many of us, including myself, it's actually one of the shortest parts of the process. Apart from sometimes editing takes ages, but let's just forget I said that to prove my point. Many of you won't do this bit, and then many of you will do far too much of it. This is the final part of the chain that when you focus on it, will ensure that every time you repeat this whole process, you get better and better. Here you have to use the data YouTube gives you to work out, firstly, how interesting your viewers found your title, thumbnail and video idea by studying the click-through rates at certain points. And then you look at your retention and you ask yourself, how good a job did I do of keeping them entertained? You check your comments to see if you hit your comment goals and if you did enough to inspire an emotional reaction from your audience. And then you need to establish if you managed to get people to watch another video after, because we don't want one video to get watched ever. We want people to watch 10 in a row, because that's what makes channels fly. This data on a video is one of the most obvious signs you have that you've managed to achieve that. All I'll say is try your hardest to get this number to 20%. And after you release the video, detach all emotion from its performance. And if it did badly, just ask why and react to that in your next video. And if it did well, ask why, and then make sure you build on that. People say you need to make hundreds of videos on YouTube to get traction. But actually, I kind of disagree. What you need to do is understand humans and make videos they find interesting time and time again. There's no magic number to aim for. Now that could be 10 videos for one person or 10,000 for another. All of our journeys will be different. Just don't hit record and expect different results if you're not hitting each 5 parts of the chain. And don't ignore this video here because it's going to help you fix section 2 of the chain and show you how to turn research into highly clickable video ideas. Oh, and I also got chased by a bear.